Appreciate it, Kate. Well, he's traveled to some of the most remote areas of the world with one mission: to find military planes and bring them home to the United States.
Now, we first met Fred Hagen back in March, and he joins us again today to tell us more about his adventures and what is next for these amazing pieces of history.
Hey, Fred, how you doing? Welcome back. Last time you were with us, you were talking about the Swamp Ghost. Give our audience, please, some background on the Swamp Ghost and what's the latest.
Well, the Swamp Ghost, the B-17, is currently at Chino, California. We brought it into the country. It's at Chino. Its final destination has not yet been determined, but it's my own hope that it can come into the Philadelphia area, and I'm trying to work with an organization to put a world-class aviation history museum at Willow Grove Naval Air Station. It's my hope to bring it there, and I believe that we can mount it in a compelling diorama and tell the early story of the early air war in the Pacific. And this plane was made in November of 1941, delivered the day before Pearl Harbor to the Army Air Corps, and was ultimately assigned to the squadron that flew into Pearl Harbor on the morning of December 7th in the middle of the Japanese attack. So it's a perfect vehicle to bring that period alive to young people today.
So you're talking about bringing this museum to the Willow Grove Naval Air Station property.
That's
the
my
1,000 acres that's there. But that's easier said than done, isn't it?
That is. It's a challenge. And this week, there's the first of those challenges, or the next challenge that we encounter, will be a meeting at 3 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon at the Horsham Township building. And we're going out there, I'm going out there to make a proposal, and it's a two-part proposal. The first proposal will be to ask if the existing museum on Route 611, which is the Delaware Valley Historic Aircraft Association, can remain on site. And we need to get a lease just to remain there. If we don't get that lease, that museum and the aircraft associated with it could be gone within a few months. Assuming we get that lease, the second part of the proposal will be to acknowledge that Route 611 is premium property. We probably won't stay at that facility or that location. We're asking for an Army Reserve area, which has a separate entrance, separate utilities off of Horsham Road, has a large hangar and an administration building. We would like to use that as the nucleus for a world-class aviation history museum. I'm not one of those people that thinks that Philadelphia has to take second stage. In my mind, we have the potential, the area out there, to create something that could be as magnificent as the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum.
So you're optimistic that this
I'm optimistic. The Horsham would definitely sees the value of the museum, and I think it's the right thing to do, because a lot of great history has been made at that base, and we want to serve as the custodians of that rich heritage.
Fred, also tell us about the P-47 Thunderbolt. That was something that you found and you're trying to work with again. Tell us about that.
The P-47 Thunderbolt was a wonderful aircraft that I found on top of a 9,000-foot ridge, and I recovered in 2004 in Papua New Guinea. This plane was flown by a young pilot named Marion Lutz. He was actually killed in the crash, or he got out of the plane, but he was never found. And we found the plane up there, and we recovered it and took it to Sydney, Australia, and it's currently being restored to flying condition in Sydney, Australia. So my hope is that in the next couple of years, I'll actually be able to get in this aircraft and fly it. And if we're lucky, this plane could also come back to the Willow Grove Naval Air Station.
We have about 15 seconds left. What about the P-38 Lightning?
P-38 Lightning is a wonderful aircraft. I know the 96-year-old pilot. He's still alive. His last wish in life is that I return and recover that plane. It's still in New Guinea. That when I went to recover it, as you can see in the pictures, the river had flooded and we weren't prepared for the flood. So that's something I need to return. Hopefully we'll be able to grant this man's last wish, which is to bring his plane home.
Thank you very much. We're going to be watching also on Wednesday to see what happens with Horsham. We'll make sure that we tell everyone what the results of that
Thank you.
is. Yeah.
That's great.
Thanks, Beth.
That's great.
Thanks,
Fred. Appreciate it. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back.